This is One on One. We're pleased to welcome Jeffrey Farrell, CEO, Habitat for Humanity Newark. Good to see you, Jeff.
Good to see you, Steve.
You guys have been doing some great things. Accurate or not, Habitat has gone from building 2 homes a year to 8 to 10 a year?
That's right, Steve.
How are you doing that?
Well, we started first with really creating a strategic action plan, and it was a conversation that we had, including our board of directors and myself, to really look at the need within Newark. And we realized that we wanted to help more families, and we also wanted to start helping veterans as well.
Yeah, we'll talk about that as well, because you're hooked up with the GI Go Fund, some great folks there. What is Habitat for Humanity? Because a lot of people say, oh, that's a Jimmy Carter thing. You're a lot more than that.
Absolutely. Well, there are 2 myths. The first myth is that Jimmy Carter actually started Habitat. Jimmy actually and Rosana are most well-known volunteers. And the other myth is that we give homes away for free. We don't. So we are a international affordable housing nonprofit, and we build in 70 countries throughout the world, and we have about 1,400 affiliates here in the United States, and our affiliate is Habitat Newark.
Jeff, how does someone qualify for a home?
Well, Steve, they qualify, they have to meet 3 criteria. The first is they have to have a need. So we do a home visit, and typically you'll find that they're living in substandard housing conditions. There's a lot of mold-infested, rodent-infested kind of housing. The second is that they have to have the ability to pay. They need to be working for at least 2 years. They have to have low debt-to-income ratio. And the last is they have to be willing to partner. So they got to be willing to put in at least 200 hours of sweat equity working on their home or a home of another family partner as well. And that sweat equity on a day like today where it's hot outside, it's real sweat that comes out. So.
Yeah, by the way, we're taping in August of 2015 here at NJIT in the heart of the city of Newark. You have more volunteers than you've ever had before. Who are these people?
These are the men and women of the community, major corporations, faith-based groups, college students, high school students from not just Newark, but from all over Essex County as well. So we're really excited about that.
Do people have to know? I've often wondered about this. Like, I don't really know how to find a beam in our house. Does it matter?
No, it
doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. We have a trained professional staff. So if you come out, Steve, we'll show you where to find the beam, but also, we train the volunteers on how to use the equipment, how to use a chop saw, and so they're monitored throughout the day. And if they have any questions or are uncomfortable doing any work, that's not a problem as well.
Jeff, how serious is the affordable housing problem in the city of Newark?
It's an enormous need to create more affordable housing. I mean, Steve, Newark has about 278,000 residents living in Newark. The average person earns only $34,000 a year, and the home ownership rate in Newark is only 22%.
What is it statewide?
65. So
do that again.
Yeah.
65%
home ownership rate
statewide. In the city of Newark?
22%.
It's about one of the lowest communities in the state for home ownership?
Absolutely. That's why Habitat is needed now more than ever. And that's why we're building more, and we can double that if we have the continued support from the community, both in terms of financial support, but also volunteers as well.
When you turn the keys over to a family, to a veteran, what's it like for you? And then talk about what you think it's like for them.
Well, for myself, and I think for our organization, we say this is the best job that you can have. I have the best job in the world, and it's just it's inspiring, it's motivating, and you get goosebumps, and sometimes it brings a tear to your eye to be able to help veterans, some of them who are disabled, to really build the American dream. And these are brave men and women who served our country honorably. They deserve to have home ownership.
Yeah, the Veterans Initiative that you're involved in, what is it?
So it's our way to help veterans, throughout the country and here in Newark to help those veterans with permanent home ownership. So they apply to the program, and if they qualify, they're out there, building with us and with the support from the volunteers to get a Habitat house. Don't forget
Break that down a little bit, because the GI Go Fund we've done some programming in cooperation with them. Describe who they are and how they're connected to this.
So the GI Go Fund is really it's a social service agency founded here in Newark. We work very closely with their executive director, Jack Finn, who's a great guy.
Jack's a great guy.
Yeah, Jack is. And they are helping us reach out to find veterans. So we're building the home.
Find them?
Well, the problem is a lot of veterans don't know what they are entitled to. They don't understand maybe what their benefits are, and they don't understand that if they're, for instance, permanently disabled, they earn enough from their disability to qualify for a Habitat home. So we're working closely with them to get the word out.
So interesting. Someone mentioned before we were doing an interview, and one of your colleagues mentioned Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Abraham Maslow, and without getting into overly philosophical discussion, but the most basic need that Maslow identified was food and shelter. And what he said was, if you don't take care of that need of shelter, then every other human need that we have becomes irrelevant. It's food and shelter. Talk about that shelter piece.
Sure. The shelter piece is so important. There are a lot of statistics out there, and just to kind of crystallize that, housing is a critical foundation and a springboard for so many positive outcomes.
Without a home.
Without a home, you don't do well in school. So children that grow up in a home versus, for instance, rental housing, they're 25% more likely to graduate from high school and 116 times more likely to go to college. And the Habitat home is a healthy home. So if you
what does that mean?
Well, we build to Energy Star standards. Our homes are healthy. We use high efficiency HVAC systems. We ensure that it's a mold-free environment. So our families are in a healthy home, and it allows them to excel in other areas of their life. So if you want to address, or you want a good prescription for a healthy family, you got to give them a healthy home.
And real quick, volunteers are needed, money is needed?
Volunteers, money, and getting the word out. So in the fall, we have our corporate challenge where we invite companies from around New Jersey to get involved. And for 2 months, they're sending their employees. They get to meet the family partners. They engage in team building, and they also learn how to swing a hammer.
Number one leadership lesson you've learned so far is?
To be a better listener.
It never gets out of style.
No, it doesn't. And we had for practical purposes, we had an experience recently with family partners, and here we are designing these homes. And then during a NJIT event, we invited our family partners to help review the designs, and we found out that what we were designing needed to be modified, and we had to listen to them about what needs they had. So,
Jeff, you and your organization, Habitat for Humanity in Newark, are doing great work. Just keep it up. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJIT has been provided by NJIT, TD Bank, the Fidelco Group, United Airlines, Verizon Communications, the Northward Center, and by PSE&G. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJIT has been produced in cooperation with FiOS One News.